afternoon, Casual Dresser here, bringing you another video. My videos are not as frequent at the moment, but I hope you really like this one. Now, if you have been subscribed for quite a while, or even if you're a new subscriber and you go back to my first ever video, it was on the fake Stone Island market, and in particular looked at someone called Busystone. Now, Busystone was churning out replicas from China. And he caught my attention because I'd heard that the jackets were extremely well made, extremely good copies. So I got my hands on, and please feel free to go back and look at this video, but I got my hands on one of the Telestellas and I pulled it apart, comparing it with one of the real Telestellas. I looked at things that were off on it, but I also complimented the things that were good. And all in all, it was a very good product, but I still absolutely hate fakes. Anyway, very recently, Busystone shut down. The Stone Island community celebrated, and it was a great day. And then another one opened up. Now, instead of it being called Busystone, it's called Ninja Stone. And you can obviously probably tell by the name that there's some sort of connection back to the original Busystone. Now, the reason why I hate the fakes is because it's bringing the, well, what I'm about to say is probably not completely true, but in general it's bringing prices down on items. Guys and girls are sceptical about buying jackets because they don't know whether they're real or fake, unless you've been looking at them for an awful long time. So when I heard that this Ninja Stone came up, I thought, oh God, here we go again. Very shortly after it opened, I got an email from this guy here, and he emailed me and said, look, I'm opening up the store, I want to send you a jacket, I want you to review it and tell me what you think. So I went onto his website, as you'll see here. I looked through all his items, kind of Goose, and I thought, look, let's go to Stone Island, it's what I know, it's what I do best, so let's get one sent over. So I went for the double Ghost Razzo jacket. The reason why I went for that one is A, because it looked nice, but B, because I've already owned one previously, brown colour, so I knew what to expect and I'd be able to compare and contrast a lot easier. About 12 days later the item turned up, and it wasn't cheap, that's the first thing. So the Busystone jackets were fairly cheap. These aren't cheap. They're a fraction of the retail cost, but they still are not cheap. You'll see the prices anyway that were on screen. So here's the jacket I got. I'll show you the inner label. Okay. And from the beginning, it's clear to see. Let me just check this is recording. Yeah, it's recording. From the beginning, it's easy to see that the actual quality is probably what I would say spot on. So it's a double razzo, so it's double layered, so it's supposed to be a little bit heavier, a little bit thicker than your standard jacket, and the inner plate looks spot on. The feel and quality of it is spot on. Obviously it's a ghost piece, we've talked about these before, but the idea is that that item, that badge, is supposed to be roughly the same colour as the garment itself. So let me just put it on for you. I'm just going to put it over the top of a smock. By the way, loads of people recently again have asked about this smock. I'm sure I've shown it hundreds of times on hundreds of videos. It's my go-to smock. Let me put this on for you. So, okay, so here it is. Like I said, the quality is obviously really, really good. It feels just like my original Stone Island one does. It's got popper cuffs, like the original one does. So they're obviously looking into detail again and finding any flaws and trying to replicate all the best bits of the jacket. Now, had it not been for a couple of telltale signs, again, you would have passed this off as new. You'd have passed it off as straight from the shop. There's no way There's no way you'd have told this was a fake. Absolutely no way whatsoever. Front pocket, embossed buttons. On the website, he has like his own Ninja Stone badge on them all. We'll talk about that soon, but obviously if you transfer it to the real Stone Island badges, buttons, YKK zips, so you're not going to look at that to see if it's fake. Now, I suppose some of the giveaway signs are, again, instead of the colour code on here, they've gone for black. This is a large and it fits big anyway. Aren't numbers there. But we talked about that they wouldn't use black. They'd probably use a colour code for that. They wouldn't use the words black. But this is easily taken off within seconds. So if you took that off and sold to someone, they wouldn't know. But we have got the certi-logo here. And the art number here. But the certi-logo comes back as fake, which at least is something for us. Because if it didn't have a certi-logo on it, we'd really be struggling. There'd be nothing really to tell that this is a fake jacket. Now, the certi-logo is quite important, because I talked before about that you've got retailers now cutting certi-logos, even though they're genuine products, but they're cutting certi-logos because they're not one of the stores that are allowed to sell it. Which is okay for them because they're making money still. It's making a huge big grey area in the market at the moment. So if I was to cut that certi-logo, I could then say to the next person who bought it from me, well, I got it from so-and-so store that cut their certi-logos. And it doesn't really sit very well with me. It's got to the point really now where I'm saying in my head that I don't think people should be buying from these sellers who are cutting certi-logos, which goes against sort of a lot of stuff in my body in terms of these are small independent stores who are trying to make a living, who are trying to sell Stone Islands, and the only way they're going to be able to do it is by, if they're not authorised stockists like flannels, etc., is cutting the certi-logo so it doesn't come back to the person who sold it to them. But it's no good for the market. It's too easy now for people to say the certi-logo was cut. So my advice at the moment would probably be do not buy anything with a cut certi-logo, even if you're told it's from the store, even if it's the store itself. And feel free, if you're a store out there who has to sell cut certi-logos, get in contact with me via either my email address or my Instagram, and we can have a chat sometime. But I don't think it's right that the customer is paying full retail price for something that A is damaged and B could possibly be fake. There are people, there's someone I think I'm going to do a video on soon who has been a big store selling these items with cut certi-logos, and people are saying they're fake as well. So it just muddies the waters, and I think actually now people should stay clear of cut certi-logo items. However, let me carry on with this video. So he sent me the jacket, I've had a look over it, and then he said, how about doing an interview? Me and you together, let's have a chat about, you know, what's been going on and Busystone and where it's gone now. And so I thought, perfect, the viewers would love to see it. Put it on my Instagram, got a massive response there. So what I'm going to do in a minute is, and actually I am going to do it in a minute, I'm going to place a video call across to him in Norway. And we're going to chat about the ups and downs of the fakes. You all know my opinion on them anyway, so he's going to hear that and he's going to be able to defend himself. But it's going to give you a little bit of an insight into the actual making of these items, why they do it, do they even worry that they're sending fakes out there, and by the end of it we're going to sort of be able to judge our own opinion on what we think this lad's like. I've never met him in my life, but what he's like as a person. I don't know if anybody's minds will be changed after this video, whether people who didn't like fakes now do, or people who do like fakes don't. I don't really know what's going to come in the interview. We're going to I've got some loose questions, but we're just going to sort of go where the conversation takes us. But yeah, I'll join you again after this interview. I expect the interview to take about half an hour. So meet me on the other side, but first of all, here's the interview in 20 minutes. It's going to come on now. with the lad in Norway, and I hope you like it. Okay, so we're here now. I've got Lucas here for an interview. Like I said before on camera, I haven't got many prescribed questions on a piece of paper, but we're just going to have a general chat about these, about the fake sort of culture of jackets, especially Stone Island, because that's something I'm interested in. So, Lucas, I'm going to hand over to you. Could you just give us a sort of quick intro about yourself and where you're from, and sort of, you know, you sort of growing up, how you've sort of got into this sort of game?
Well, basically, my name is Lucas. I'm 20 years old. I'm born in 2001. I'm half Brazilian and half Norwegian. I'm born in Norway. I used to live in the US for some few years. Basically, I would say that my English is my mother tongue, like my main language. But I would basically put Norwegian and English in first place. The reason I started producing fake clothes, it's a long story, but the story short is that I used to not have a lot of money to make. I mean, like not to make, but to buy clothes, like clothes I wanted, like Stone Island, and more like so a few years ago, I didn't even have money to buy like Adidas stuff and Nike stuff, you know. So what happened is I decided to look if there was any other options to get something that looks very similar, but for the fraction of the price. And then I stumbled upon the subreddit Fashion Reps, and then I got lucky and I got in contact with somebody, and I have like a background in marketing, and I just came up with some really good tips to somebody I knew that was Busystone, and I ended up helping them on how to market and what they should make, and what would be good, and different payment methods. So I basically just helped them with stuff for free, and then he trusted me, and then it ended up becoming a job.
So I know you've mentioned this Busystone there. A lot of people who watch my channel are lads in the forums that speak together. Obviously, Busystone was probably the first one on the market that sort of made a replica to a sort of standard where even lads who knew the clothing inside out were starting to get a little bit confused in terms of what was real, what was fake. Because I mean, obviously, you'll know that fakes have been out there for a long time. So over here in England, you might see fake Stone Island or Moncler or Canada Goose jackets on a market stall, and they're almost laughable how bad the items are. And if someone's wearing a fake jacket, people can spot it a mile off. But I think Busystone possibly was the first one where lads, myself probably included here, that I didn't know whether to laugh or cry, because it has the potential to really hurt the market, but it's almost like an art as well, where they've managed to make a jacket so close to the real thing. So when you talk about Busystone, without going, possibly you might not be able to go into too much detail about the person himself, but how did they get these clothes at Busystone so close to the actual products themselves? Have you got reels on hand, and the real ones on hand, or?
Yeah, what we used to do when we first like the first release of Busystone, we released like 15 items, I think 15, 20 items, and what we did is we bought every single piece retail, and we bought them in every single size. So we made from small to XXL, and we bought retail of every size. And what we did is we have it's not just me. It's me and another person and another person, and then we have like groups who do different things, like pack the items, and then we have a group that looks at the clothes, and then we have a group that knows how to sew the clothes, and then it's like different steps. It's not just me pointing my finger and it just gets made. It's like a huge process with a lot of people. So what happens is we get the items, and then we go with the team, and then we say, okay, can we produce this or not? Is it easy to source these materials? because in reality, all the materials, they usually come from China. Like the raw materials, they usually come from China. Like maybe you can need to buy something from Japan. Maybe there's some special cotton you have to buy. But when it comes to like really like the engineer thing, China is really known to make stuff. Not just to make fake clothes, but to make stuff in general. A lot of things come from China. A lot of things come from around Asia, and that's just like how it has been for many years. So basically, what happens is we take the jacket and we research it. We say, okay, which material is this? Where can we source this material? How can we dye? How can we do the dyeing process? Is it going to be a complication? Is it going to be hard to source these buttons? Because buttons, they're just plastic. And then we need to find out where we can go to mold the buttons. And it sounds easy, but in the same time it's hard, because not every if every factory in China wanted to make the buttons for us, we can make the best buttons. But because we're making fake clothes, only some factories will accept to make buttons. So basically, we ask a bunch of factories. Plus, we have our own factories that we focus more on the garments. While when it comes to buttons, zippers, and stuff like that, we ask third-party manufacturers.
So there was a rumour at some point. Now, bear in mind, we know nothing about Busystone. There was a rumour that Busystone, or someone high up in Busystone, used to work for Stone Island, or in the actual, the making process for Stone Island. Is that true? Is there someone from Stone Island who actually works there?
There was not. There's no one that was an owner like me and two other guys. We never worked with Stone Island, but there was one guy who we hired for a period of time who who used to work in one of the factories.
Right. Okay. So they have some inside knowledge then.
Yeah. But we made the clothes before we made the first release. We didn't have him. Right. And the thing is, it never really lasted because of the coronavirus. We couldn't bring him to China like we wanted to do, because our goal was to bring him from China and he will get a good deal with working with us. Yeah. But he would help us to make these clothes. But since it was the coronavirus, we never had that chance to move him from where he lived to China and then let him work here.
Now, in my head, I imagine that this sort of like factory is some sort of sweatshop in the middle of China. Is that what it's sort of like? Is it like a back street sort of alley? And do you have like a factory to make them in, or do you have just multiple locations that you send around?
Well, it's without saying too much, it's like how can I explain this? It's like it's a bunch of factories. Right. There's factories all over. There's not just one factory. Yeah. It would be way too risky to have one factory. In China, there's factories like everywhere, and we have factories located everywhere, and that's just how it is. Everybody thinks that it's like underground tunnels where we produce clothes, but in reality, it's like open. It's really just like open street. Like people, you got to see pictures of how the factories looked like before, and it's really. It's really not that like secret, we got windows, we got everything, right. People could, it's not like it's not like underground tunnels like people think.
So you obviously market some of the big fakes, so Stone Island and Canada Goose, etc. Yeah. And you've got to obviously make a profit even at the prices you're selling them at. So I'm going to guess if we go right back to the source of Stone Island, they must be making an absolute fortune. Like the items must really cost very little to make.
That's why Moncler bought Stone Island for like some few $1 billion. Because they know it's really profitable. In my opinion, I think it's a little bit weird that Stone Island wanted to sell their company, especially what their vision is. Because it was made by a family, right? Yeah. And it's just weird that they would sell something that made by a family, Like if my dad made something, I wouldn't sell it, I would keep it running.
You wonder if they sort of panic and think, well, not necessarily just fakes, but there's so many things out in the market now compete with them, not only other brands, but Yeah, I suppose there are so many fakes out there, and it's becoming a bit more treacherous, really, to have a company in this sort of day and age. And but I completely understand what you mean. Like if you're the Osti family and you've had it in your generations, then you wouldn't think you'd be selling it that easy. But they have, and that's sort of in the past now. But I spoke before we came on air just now. I spoke about the item that you actually sent me. So it was called Busystone. It went across to your new company. It's called Ninja Stone. So I'll show the website now on the video. So this is your Ninja Stone. Where's the name coming from then? What is Busy to Ninja? What?
Well, the reason we were called Busystone, or the thing is, Busystone and Ninja Stone, they don't have connections. Basically, there's some people who still work with us that was from Busystone, but Busystone itself and the factories and all the people, they don't work for us anymore. Ninja and Stone is a completely different different company. So basically, what we did was that damn, I just spaced out. I spaced out, man. What was the question?
We were talking about obviously how it used to be Busystone. You came to Ninja Stone. You've got some of the staff.
Yeah.
Some of the staff.
And where did the name come from?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, the main person in Busystone, his nickname was Ninja. And my nickname is Piao. My name is Lucas. My real name is Lucas, but my nickname is Piao. It comes from like a Chinese song I used to listen to for fun.
Okay.
And I thought that the name Piao was catchy. So basically, we were thinking like we had to close down Busystone because of two reasons. We got raided. Basically, the police came and took all our stuff and put some people in jail. And then also Stone Island complained that Busystone and Stone Island were very similar, and they won the case, so that we got shut down. So basically, we were trying to find out a way to call ourselves something different, but still having the name Stone. And then Piao and Stone didn't sound right, and then Ninja and Stone, and then with the short, it's NIS. It just sounded better, and it was kind of like a legacy from Busystone, like the owner, Ninja. So that's why it's called Ninja and Stone. But it's not like a huge backstory on why it's called. It was just a little bit catchy, and it looked nice.
So Busystone got shut down because the name, not the products. I mean, the products are almost one-to-one replicas.
Well, the thing is, the product. We didn't get shut down because of the products. We got shut down because at first we wanted to change from Busystone to Ninja and Stone, but then what happened was around October we got like raided. Like police came inside, they took everything, and then they put some people in jail, and right. It was a hard time for us. Yeah.
I can imagine, because I think a lot of us over here in the UK say, why are these places not getting shut down? Because I mean, one of the first times when I got a Busystone product, I messaged the Stone Island headquarters to say, what are you doing to sort of protect? Because so we've had the backstory and how it's sort of come to light in these products, and then I suppose you sort of get to the crux of it now. So the products themselves and what they mean to us and what they mean to you. So for me personally, I hate the idea of fakes. I would never wear a fake, and it's almost like an art to me. So you collect these pieces, they're investment pieces, and then once fakes start coming along, I believe kind of people then start selling fakes for cheaper. So let's say you sell me this. So the jacket you sent me out, by the way, and I explained to Cameron that it's a fantastic jacket. I mean, the quality of it. I was lucky enough to have the double razzle already, so it was a nice one to be able to compare. And that's why
you got to compare retail with yours.
Yes, well, I've had it. I didn't do it side by side because I haven't got the double razzle now, but I have owned the double razzle in a brown colour. Oh. And that's one of the reasons when you said, you'll send me a gift, I went for that one. And, the actual feel of it, the texture, because obviously it's a double line jacket, the weight of it, what it looks like is, it's an incredible jacket to be a fake. And nobody, if I wore that on a night out, nobody would ever know that it's a fake. However, I still couldn't wear it as a fake, so I'm going to gift it. You've gifted it to me, I'm going to gift it to a friend straight after this video. But the items are incredible, but let's say I then sold that jacket on, I'd be able to sell it on quite cheap. And then people then start to believe that's the going market value for selling these jackets secondhand. So guys that have gone to flannels and paid £800 for this jacket, for example, try and sell it for £400, and people were saying, well, I've got it for £200, and you have to argue about fakes. So, I mean, me personally, I hate fakes, and I sort of want to know, like, do you ever feel? I know you never market them as being real, but are there any other points where you sit there and think, God Almighty, I can't believe I've got to a point where I'm selling fakes, or is it just a case of, well, it's a business, I'm making a lot of money from it?
Well, to be honest with you, there's been questions on it's a brand that's been there for many years and has a history, and sometimes you don't buy the clothes because of the clothes, you buy the clothes because of the brand.
Yeah.
Right? Stone Island makes really nice pieces with fabrics that has never been used on clothing before, and that's why they're popular, and that's why they can mark up the prices like they have done. But in the end, it's the people who want to buy real, they will buy real. You have a collection, you buy real, and you like to see what else is on the market because you are very you're not emotional attached to something, but you're like very passionate about it.
Yeah.
And that means that you, when you look at a fake, you say, oh, this is really good to be a fake, but you would never wear it because you're more attached to, you have a passion for Stone Island. So basically, the thing is, there's been times where what I used to do for Busystone was, before we had an Instagram account, and I would just market, and that's how I got I got a huge part of the UK audience from that, and that's how you got to know me, because what happened is I contacted a bunch of people from the UK, they bought, and then they spread the word, and that's how you came across it, I think.
Right.
If I'm not right, if I'm not wrong. So basically, I don't get like a bad feeling when we make fakes because if it's not me, it will always be somebody else.
Yeah.
And the thing is, one time we were going to make a brand, and the owner actually came to us before we started making it, and he said like he didn't want us to make it, and we ended up not making it because we respected the choice, So if Stone Island really cared about it, they would contact us and try to sort out a deal, And the thing is, we're not hurting their business in any way, I would feel personally, because if you look at the Stone Island website, you always see the clothes, they always sell out, And the thing is, of course, if every person who ever bought off Stone Island knew about us, yes, then we would hurt their business, because I'm pretty sure over 50% of them would maybe start maybe buying from us instead of Stone Island, because because it's a difference between people who are passionate about Stone Island and people who just wear it. I can walk outside here and see people 5-6 years younger than me wearing Stone Island, but they just wear it because it looks cool. They don't think about like the hooligan history around it and and the UK scene and the rapping scene and everything. They just wear it because their favorite artist wears it, or they think it's cool, And that's the majority of people. Majority of people wear it because of that, Yeah. They're not like attached to the brand as you guys are.
Do you wear fakes then, or do you wear the real stuff? Do you wear Stone Island yourself, or Canada Goose, or Moncler, or?
I use both. I have a lot of not a lot, but I have some CP company. I have some Stone Island pieces, mostly T-shirts, an overshirt, one jacket. These are retail I have, and then I have I have two CP company jackets.
Okay. Now my biggest one, I'm putting, coming near the end of the video now, but I spoke over in the UK, and it'll be the same, around the world, that stores that are not allowed to stock Stone Island are still selling Stone Island, but they cut the certi-logo. And I know we talked originally about how you still keep the Certi logo on your pieces. And I've said the problem we've got now is that when we've got stockists selling Stone Island with cut Certi logos, if I was to get your jacket and cut the Certi logo off, I could potentially pass that on and say, look, it came from a grey stockist who wasn't allowed to stock Stone Island. So one of the good things about your jackets leaving the Certi logo on is that it will come back fake, which helps the buyer. As long as there's a Certi logo there, it does what it says. It tells you if it's fake or it's real. So one of the things I just spoke to my viewers about was that I think that if a jacket has got no Certi logo on it now, people shouldn't be buying it. And that means, obviously, the smaller independent shops in England that are selling Stone Island, they wouldn't get the business. But I think for clarity on the market, I think that all items should keep their Certi logo piece so that we know if it's real or fake. And that's the whole point of, obviously, Certi logo itself. Now, we talked about Certi logo and you keeping it on the jacket. Is there, I think the big question is there a way in which companies like yourself are going to be able to replicate the Certi logo so it comes up as real? And if so, why have you kept it as a fake Certi logo?
Well, the thing is, I have some moral like thoughts. Like if I'm a person who worked hard, if let's say I work somewhere and I work hard and I really want a nice real jacket in the end of the month, I don't want to be the person that feels guilty because somebody bought one of our jackets who somebody else sold as real, you know. So the thing is that we used to make working Certi logos at Busystone, and what we would do is we would find a bunch of real Certi logos, and we would just print like 10, 20, and people would buy 10, 20 of the same jacket, same color, same size, and we would put the same Certi logo on those 10, but since they would sell it, because the way Certi logos work is that, for example, if you have a jacket, right?
Yeah.
And a real jacket, and you scan the Certi logo, it will come up as real. But if I scan it, it will come up as real. But if somebody else in Sweden scans it, and then somebody else in China scans it, what will happen is the Certi logo will automatically think that the jacket is fake because it's been scanned at so many different locations in a so short period of time.
Yeah, but it would come up as anomalies. So one thing we sort of talked about on the videos is, if a Certi logo is scanned too many times, it will flag up as anomalies. It won't come up as fake. So the only way in which a jacket's coming up as fake at the moment is if it's got a fake Certi logo. So if I scan yours, that will come up as fake.
The thing is, we use the Certi logos that come from the real piece we use, but since they get scanned too many times, it will become it usually becomes fake. Maybe they have changed it now, but I'm not 100% sure.
Right. Okay.
But there's been times where people if they get the piece early, it will work for a little period of time, and that's not something that we do on purpose. It's just something that, you know, since we replicate the jacket, you know. Yeah. And since the jacket has a Certi logo, we replicate the Certi logo, but the Certi logo won't work for a long period of time. We don't go out our way to make working Certi logos, you know. Right. In the end of the day, the Certi logo will not work.
Right.
But for the long run, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in my opinion, I think that Stone Island, since there's such a rich brand, like they have so much money, they should really look into other ways to make their products 100% safe for the buyer. Like, you know, I don't know if you know so much about NFTs and stuff like that, but they could easily put in a chip next to the badge, or like within the badge area that's inside the fabrics, where they could scan, and it could be one of this many, maybe let's say they make 1,000 jackets, then it's one of 1,000 jackets, right? Yeah. And you can 100% make sure that it can't be copied, because there's probably some technology in NFT where you can put some type of chip in the jacket, and even if somebody replicates a chip, they still couldn't get it, because what you can do is in NFTs, you know, cryptocurrency, you can claim the NFT to your account. So that means that if a Stone Island guy wants to buy a jacket, they could make an account, and they could bind the NFT
to their
their account. So if anybody else had that NFT, they said that's the fake version.
Yeah.
And that's the future of clothes. 100%. People will be able to scan it and use an app like OpenSea, which is an NFT platform to buy digital artwork.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% sure that Stone Island will come up with something in the future where they can scan the clothes,
yeah.
and the person can claim the clothes, and they could match it. Like, oh yeah, here's my jacket.
Yeah.
The code is 1234, and then they can look at their account, and they can see that, oh, Stone Island jacket 442F1, and then you can see like the details of the jacket, size S, blah blah. It's really smart for them to do. I have no idea why they haven't done it yet, because they can make so much money off doing this digital plus the clothing.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be insane. Like I don't understand why they haven't done it yet.
You might get
no company has done it.
You might get an email from a company after this video asking you to move across and start working for them. So, if they did that, would you move across to them? If Stone Island reached out and said, "Look, would you like to come across and work for us?" Would you be happy to do something like that?
Yeah, I would totally want to work with them, especially with the idea I just had with putting some kind of NFT thing on the jacket so people could scan it, just like the RFC scanner. You know what I mean? Where you on the Moncler, you can go to your badge and then you can get like a notification.
Right.
They could probably do something like that on the jacket itself on Stone Island, but actually, like, think about every new jacket you get, you could claim the jacket. Like, have an app. Like, Stone Island could make an app where you could claim the item.
And then I suppose if you sold it on as a reseller, you could then pass that over to someone else.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You could get their address and you could transfer over there.
It's a bit like,
so smart. Yeah.
A bit like a car, a bit like the registration of a car and passing it on with the logbook. We talked about that in a previous episode about, I mean, mine wasn't as technical as yours, but having a logbook where there's a written address of where this jacket's been before, so you can see the history of it, and it makes sense what you're saying. And I suppose to sort of summarise the video and sort of bring it near the end is that when I was making this video, I was obviously aware that people in the Stone Island community, how they would sort of react to me speaking to somebody who makes fakes. And the first thing was when you talked about the certi-logo and about having sort of like the feelings behind it and not wanting to rip people off. And I thought, this could work, this video. But more so that actually Busystone and Ninja Stone, and it sort of got the community talking a little bit. And I suppose a lot of boys and girls and men and women, they sort of want to know, like you've explained now, where this came from, who's behind it, how it sort of comes to market, and just sort of like where the idea came from. And you have probably taken the market by storm. It probably is the best, that they are the best out there at the moment. And as much as I hate fakes and I hate the idea of it all, I'm really pleased that you actually came and spoke to me. And obviously when I release this video, it will go to a lot of people who are probably as passionate, or if not more passionate, about brands like myself. And I suppose from me, it's to wish you luck in the future, no matter what you do, whether you carry on doing, the fakes, or whether it be, moving on to something else, like you talked about, stopping replicas of jackets. It tends to be, doesn't it, that say like in the police force, if you want somebody to stop crime, it's normally the people who started the crime that are the best at stopping the crime, and you might be in a position where you're able to maybe eventually stop fakes coming onto the market by doing something special, maybe for the brands themselves.
I think the thing is, I think fakes of everything will always be there in our lives. But the thing is, it will be much harder to replicate a fake, because one of the most hardest things to replicate in the world is money. Yeah. There's only, I think there's only 0.1% of all money in all circulative money in the world is fake. 0.1, which is actually a lot when you think about how much money there is in the world. But it's just there's going to be several ways, and this new technology that's coming in, the cryptocurrency and the NFTs, that will make it so it will be very hard for people. If people want to buy a real item, it will be very hard to make sure that it'll be very hard for somebody to get scammed, you know.
Yeah.
But when it comes to clothes, and in the end of the day, the clothes right behind you is material.
Yeah.
And it is sewn on, and it is produced. There's maybe some few differences, but in overall, like you said, if you went to a bar, nobody would say, "Hey, that's fake," you know.
No,
Nobody does that, you know.
I suppose you're right there by saying, actually, hopefully, for the real people who want to buy real Stone Island, it will become almost 100% legit that you can always purchase a real Stone Island without being conned. But the fakes will always be there for the people who want to buy fakes. And I suppose if that's the way it goes,
I respect the, like, if people want to use their money, their hard earned money on fakes, they should be able to do that. If they want to use their hard earned money on real and have a collection, or just feel more confident with themselves because they use the real deal, then it's totally fine, you know. Because in the end of the day, they're the one who has the money. They're the one who can pick, you know.
That's brilliant. So. Well, Lucas, I want to say a big thank you. Thank you for coming on with me. Thank you for being so open and honest about your business. So that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that interview. I didn't really know where it was going to go. I didn't know the line it was going to go down. It was just a general chat with him to find out what his company was about, how he got there, etc. It opened my eyes. I'm sure for some of you who have watched the whole video through, if you just skip through it, you're going to miss a lot of the content. So please do watch this one from start to finish. I know it's a long video. He did say to me at the end that going forward, what they're going to look at doing is they're sort of going to move away from Stone Island. They're going to do a few high-end pieces, the special pieces that perhaps people don't even think can be fake, the wow pieces. But he sees himself sort of transitioning from Stone Island and maybe doing just a couple of Stone Island pieces and really going into the Moncler. And I don't know if I've managed to show that in the video. I don't know what I'm going to cut yet. This is literally just like an unedited video at the moment. But yeah, you see he's going away from Stone Island and more to Moncler. But a lovely guy. I was really on the fence about doing the video, but I thought actually it's alright us ribbing the companies, but it's nice to hear from them. I don't think anyone else has interviewed him. I think this is a first for YouTube to listen to Busystone, Ninja Stone, sort of the minds behind it. Obviously a very well articulated and bright boy. I wish him lots of luck in the future. And I'm going to find it very hard to top that video that we've just done. If you've got any questions on that video, or anything you'd like to sort of delve deeper into, please get in contact with me. My email address is here. If you're a company out there that doesn't agree that people should not be buying cut certi-logos, again, please do get in contact. Like and subscribe. I'm over the amount of subscribers I need in terms of 1,000, but watched hours I haven't got enough yet. So please do watch this video back to front. Have a lovely afternoon. It's 2:30 now, so I'm going to go and watch some of the football. And I'll see you in the next couple of weeks for my next video. Take care.